What is up, crypto gang? Welcome back to another episode of Hack Crypto, where we hack our cryptocurrency and blockchain education. If you guys are brand new here, we do a little giveaway at the beginning of every single episode, and today's winner is Master Rio. Thanks so much for commenting on the previous video, Master Rio. I just sent you some crypto. On this episode, I'm going to be going over the top 5 ways that you can get a loan without any credit check. Now, a quick disclaimer, this is not a sponsored review, but the projects that I'm going to be going over are crypto collateralized loans. So you have to put some collateral up, meaning you have to deposit some asset to get a loan out of it. That's kind of how you can bypass the need for a credit check, because you're putting some collateral skin in the game so you can actually take some out. The first one I haven't mentioned on the channel in the past is Nexo, and this allows you to borrow at a 5.9% APR and 10% compounding interest paid out daily if you are on the other end. Now, something to keep in mind here is that a lot of these platforms are using liquidity that is provided by their users. So people deposit crypto and they are lending out that crypto that has been deposited into their custody. So a really important piece to mention here is that you're able to earn interest on a lot of these projects, and you're able to borrow money, obviously, like I mentioned before, without the credit checks. So the first one being Nexo at a 10% compounding interest that's paid out daily that you're earning interest on, and then you can of course borrow at the 5.9%, and they claim to have 800,000 happy customers and $100 million in insurance for their custodial assets, as well as an EU license that allows them as a regulated institution in the EU. So similar to some of these other platforms, you can borrow cash or stable coins. Obviously stable coins are preferred, but you can borrow anywhere between $10 up to a maximum of $2 million here on Nexo. Next up, we have Celsius. I was actually really fortunate to have met Alex Mashinsky, and he was a lot of fun to talk to, really insightful guy, and they've been working on Celsius for quite some time. So basically you can borrow as little as $1,000, you can apply in minutes with zero paperwork, and you get approved instantly. So it's a quick process similar to some of these other platforms, and they do have pretty interesting APRs. One of the coolest parts about Celsius is that it is a mobile first platform, so you can get the app on your phone and you get paid an interest in their cell token, and it's a really great user interface. I've really enjoyed playing around with it. I've played around with it for over a year now, and you can obviously cash out in your cash or your currency of your choice, like your stable coin. And this, once again, is no credit check required. It's instant approval and no fees hidden in the background. It's all very upfront and very transparent. So borrowing, you can defer your income and capital gains taxes when you're borrowing against assets, which is really important, that Celsius really highlights. And you can borrow against up to 25 different coins and interest rates from 1% APR. Their loan terms are starting at 6 months and very flexible loan to value options. Next up, we have BlockFi, where you can borrow at 4.5%. So this is a really pretty popular platform right now, where you deposit your Bitcoin and you can borrow against it. So for example, if you want to, at the current price, if you wanted to get a loan for $25,000, you would have to deposit 4.4 Bitcoin in there and pull that out, because you're collateralizing that loan. Once again, you do not need to have any sort of check taking place. And once again, they emphasize the fact that you do not sell the asset. You're actually just pulling some of that money out, and you don't have to cash out. So you're avoiding a lot of tax situations there, and you're able to use these crypto-backed loans to invest in various different types of assets. For example, you can invest in real estate, you can move it into the stock market. I don't know why you would do that, but you can move it around however you want. You're freeing up some capital from that bag that you're holding there. BlockFi does have an application, and like I said before, you can earn 8.6% on that interest when you're lending money out, and then the crypto-backed loans part, you're borrowing at 4.5% interest at the lowest point. So of course they have a trading account as well, very similar to some of these other platforms where you can trade Bitcoin with different currencies. But most importantly, they do have the ability to earn interest as well as take out these loans for as low as 4.5%. Obviously, a big one that I've covered many times. I'm bullish on crypto.com. I love their platform. I've been using it for over a year. I'm in their patron program, along with hundreds of other content creators. So they have pioneered this space very well because they emphasize the no credit check required, no repayment deadlines, and it's instant credit ready to spend on the wallet because they have a debit card that you can spend on. So they're literally, you're putting the collateral up and you're getting it instantly without any sort of credit checks, which I think is a huge advantage because they have the ability to just spend on the card, and you can get the credit limit you want, not what you're given. You gain credit directly to your wallet. You pay back on your schedule, and there's no statement deadlines. So the key here is that you're doing about a 50% loan to value ratio. So you would deposit 10,000, let's say, and you'd receive 5,000 in credit in PAX USD or USDC or USDT, which are stable coins. And that makes it seamless, easy for you to interact with it. And the whole point here, in my opinion, is that you're able to spend with that form factor card. You're able to go into a store anywhere Visa is accepted and swipe that debit card, and you're able to pull out lines of credit with these collateralized kind of loan aspects here. So really cool. And they pay 12% on the Bitcoin collateral when you're staking CRO. I've mentioned this many times in the past on the channel, but I really wanted to kind of drive this home, the no credit check aspect to this, because it is really a big deal for people all over the world. Now, I don't believe this is available in the US yet, but it is coming. And when you deposit your crypto, you can get an instant loan, which is a game changer for people all over the world. And last but most certainly not least is the behemoth themselves, Binance. They got into the loan game, I want to say last year-ish, and you can get a loan secured by your crypto assets, just like these other platforms that I was talking about. But the initial loan to value ratios that they're starting out at is about 65%, and they do have a liquidation LTV of 83%, meaning that if it drops down to a certain percentage, you will have to liquidate some of the assets. So the loan terms are in days, which I find pretty fascinating here. You can put it out for 90 days, 30 days, 14 days, and even 7 days. The annual interest rate is 18%, and then the daily interest rate is 0.05%. So there are some big differences here between the different platforms. Obviously, Binance is a huge platform, the biggest exchange in the world, and there are a ton of traders on here that would love to collateralize and pull some of that value out and use it for other things. So I think that it's really smart for them to get into this game. So you have so many different coins, obviously, and tokens on Binance that you can do this. As long as you're a user of Binance, you can get access to the Binance loans. They do offer them in BUSD and USD and several other cryptos, which is really great to see. But needless to say, they are the biggest exchange. They have derivatives and all sorts of really cool instruments that they're releasing. So it was cool to see them roll this out because a lot of people are very interested in it, and there are tons of tokens on their platform. So what you should do is go check out how the annual interest rates are lining up with their daily interest rates and the loan terms, and check out the collateralized assets that they have available and the borrowing limit. I think it's really interesting that they're getting into this because they're going to be easily the biggest provider, in my opinion, over the next couple of years, because they have all of the users, all of these over 1 million users, I know that are just absolutely crushing it with their trades. So they need the ability to pull out some capital without having to sell. They need to lock it up and pull some out for whatever they need it on, a different investment into a different asset class, whatever it may be. But it is really cool option. That is it for my overview here of the top 5 collateralized loan options here that don't require a credit check. Now, some of these may change over the course of the next year by implementing credit checks. I'm not 100% sure, but at this current time, they're not doing credit checks that I know of. So it is a really good time for people to get involved because people need credit everywhere, and I feel like it is an amazing opportunity to really get access to this. So do your research, of course, as I always say in videos when it comes to loans. Know what you're doing, research the projects, research the platforms, research the numbers, make sure that everything is lining up in terms of what they're paying out, when the loan term is due back, if there's any issues with the LTV or the loan to value ratios. Make sure that you know your liquidation prices in terms of if there's a drop in Bitcoin and everything goes down. You need to make sure you know exactly what you're getting into. So that is it for this episode. If you guys want to learn more, all the links will be in the description below, so you can check all these different platforms out for yourself. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section if you guys like these types of videos of new financial instruments that are rolling out. I like doing them. I think they're fun, and there's a lot of stuff coming out. So that is it for this episode. Slap a like if you like it, and I will see you on the next episode of Hack Crypto.